Hi, I'm Mike from My Glass Trades Glass Chat How To. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to cut off a little strip of glass off a piece of 1/8 inch glass and a piece of 1/4 inch glass. I'm just going to show you a technique that I use. There's a couple different ways to do it. And I'll show you what happens if you use a pair of plate pliers on it or some running pliers. You kind of get a different flared end on it. And then what happens if you don't do it correctly, it'll chunk off on you. I'll show you some of that too. So I'll get right to the video.
Okay, like I said before, I like to use a glass cutter with a oil reservoir in it. This has oil in it. Here, this cutter will show you a little bit better. You can see the oil maybe slish-slosh inside of there. But as I use the cutter and the wheel is oil, that gives it a better cut. And if you don't have a cutter that has an oil reservoir, you don't have to use that. But it does help a lot if you take the tip of your cutter and dip it in the oil or run a streak of oil down the glass that you're going to cut before you make that cut. It just makes your cut a lot better. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how you cut off just a real small strip of glass on a piece of 1/4 inch glass. Here, I'm just going to mark this as if I had a 1/4 inch of glass I was going to cut. So I made my score. And you can see I don't have a lot there. That's probably a little bit less than a 1/4 inch. And what's going to happen when I go ahead and try and break that off, it's going to come off in chunks. So let me show you what that looks like. See how I just broke it off? And I could keep doing that all the way down. And I can get a pretty decent edge on that if I just keep doing it. It takes some time. And then I have to really grind that edge. I really have to grind this to get that nice and smooth to have a nice looking, because you can kind of see how it's chunky there looking. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a cut on the other side and a different technique to do it. Flip this over. I've gone ahead and made my score. And then this time what I'm going to do is take, I like this one just because it's round. I can take the tip, the end of this, and pop it against the glass until I get my glass to start running. Then once it starts to run, then I can use my pliers and keep that run going all the way down. Let me show you. What I'm doing with my thumb is just put a little bit of pressure on the outside edge of that glass. Okay, let's see if you can see that. Yeah, you can see right here where it's just started to run a little bit right there, and that's what I was after. Okay, so now that I've got that to run a little bit, I can just take my pliers and keep working that run down. Of course, when you're on TV, it doesn't work. And by doing it this way, you'll get a better edge and do a lot less seaming. Now you can see I messed up a little bit there at the beginning. Not too bad, but the rest of it came off real nice. And that's kind of what I was after. Okay, now here I'm basically going to do the same thing, but with an 1/8 inch piece of glass. My rule is basically if it's an 1/8 inch piece of glass, I can cut off about a 1/4 inch. If it's a 1/4 inch piece of glass, I can cut off about a 1/2 inch and so on. That's about the minimum I can cut. If it gets much less than that, I can't really cut it off very well. Okay, now that I've scored that, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm putting my outer thumb out here on the outer edge of the glass, tapping that to get it started.
Now it's starting to run. And the thinner the glass is, the much easier this is to do. Took off the nice strip.